Hey folks, John Nielsen here with Wing Chun Hall. I had a few people ask me about YouTube and Wing Chun on YouTube, and I've been looking at this clip here entitled Wing Chun versus Street Fighter, and I noticed that there were a lot of comments. Oh yeah, you can find the original post right down here, but I've noticed there are a lot of comments on here about his Wing Chun. I didn't find very many of them useful, so I thought I'd offer this as a more detailed critique. Just a note, the guy who posted it originally, his name is Martial Art, didn't offer any details about how he knows that this guy does Wing Chun, how long he did it, where he trains. So we're just going to have to take that kind of stuff for granted. We're going to talk about some of the things that he does wrong and see if he does anything well. All right. First, I want to point out a few things. You'll notice there is a place where they're going to stand, a playing field. And then around them you got spectators. And then also they're both wearing gloves. In addition to that, you see this guy in the middle, he's the officiator. So what we've got here is all the makings of a game. You've got pieces, you've got a place to play it, you've got equipment, you've got rules, and you've got officiators. What this means basically is that this is not a self-defense fight, this is a sport fight. And you can use Wing Chun in a sport, but this guy, and you see he's got the blue gloves on, we'll call him Blue, and we'll call the other guy Red. He is not prepared for a sport fight. He's using what should be self-defense positions, self-defense moves, in a sport venue. So that's the first thing that he does wrong. Okay, here, Blue is holding his hands out in what people tend to think of as a Wing Chun pre-fighting posture. Now, a pre-fighting posture is a sports-imposed conceit from the 80s. Wing Chun is a self-defense art, and it doesn't really have a pre-fighting posture. In fact, what you're supposed to use is a wedge, and the wedge is designed to be used at close range when somebody just throws a punch at you, as we could show you in further videos. In this case also, you see that they're too far apart to touch, and so as he has his hands out like this, it serves him no purpose. It's not there to defend, it's not there to attack, it's not there to aim, and as it's extended, you really can't generate a whole lot of force in there, so he can't use it in any of those situations. Instead, it's just a line out there that the other person can use as a target. Also, look at this distance. This is the distance at which a sensible person, if threatened, would begin backing away. And if he could, draw a weapon. If not, he would escape. But this is sports, and in sports, you're required to...
Has abandoned reason for madness.
Well, I couldn't have said that better myself. Also notice here that Blue is not making an effective wedge. He's leading with his left shoulder and hip. At this distance, it would be wrong to make a wedge in the first place, but if you were going to do it, you'd want to have as wide a base of the wedge as you can. He's lost it. In fact, turning sideways effectively nullifies his wedge, and therefore, he hasn't got any kind of defensive position at all. Instead, he's just presenting a line that can be dealt with. Plus, here, Blue is shifting his weight between his front and his back leg, which makes it hard for him to lift his leg, and it makes it difficult for him to defend with that. In other words, Blue is not really setting up this situation well at all. Okay, let's look at the action. That's fast. Let's back that up and do it a little more slowly. Okay, notice Red starts with a low kick, and Blue's hands come right down to stop that kick. When his hands are out of the way, Red just starts the attack and just continues to pummel him. Blue can't defend himself because his hands were out of the way. Wing Chun does not teach you to do that with both hands. There are several different Wing Chun techniques that you can use to defend against a low kick. That's not one of them. Okay, here's the next bit of action. Here we go. Red kicks, Blue puts his hands down, and Red hits him in the face and spins around. You'll see that Red uses this trick over and over in this, and it's basically the only thing that he does. Okay, here we go again. Blue bounces, switches legs, tries to kick. Okay, but this time, Blue kicks high. And when he comes forward to put his foot down, he loses his balance, and all red has to do is hit him and knock him right over.
Hai đội đỏ nha.
Here we go again. Let's see what this again more slowly. Okay, red throws a kick again, blue's hands go down, and red knocks him right over. Okay, here blue lifts his leg as if to defend, but he's leading with the knee, whereas he should be leading with the shank, keeping it relaxed. Here, blue loses his wedge again, and red does some chain movements, which exposes the irony of this. We say here that blue is Wing Chun and red is Street Fighter, but so far, we haven't actually seen any good solid Wing Chun technique out of blue. And in fact, what red does is solid Wing Chun stuff. See, the thing is, red is doing chain attacks, red is also throwing low kicks, that is. Now, you may say that red's throwing round kicks and red's throwing round punches. That's true. A lot of people typically think that the Wing Chun doesn't have any of that, but that's not true either. See, Wing Chun actually has round kicks in the second form, also in the third form, and in the dummy. Wing Chun also has round punches in the third form and in the weapons system. Also, you see that red is kicking from the back leg, and you say Wing Chun doesn't generally do that. That's generally true, but Wing Chun does kick from the back leg in the blades form. So therefore, he hasn't done anything in there that's not Wing Chun. In fact, maybe his techniques are a little bit ragged, maybe his training methodology is a little bit different, but everything that he's done that's been effective is actually found in the Wing Chun form. Wing Chun is actually much bigger than most people want to allow it to be. Okay, here we go again. Low kick, hands go down, red just palms blue. Here's another one. Okay, looks like it was pretty powerful, but let's back that up and slow it down to see what really happens. Red throws a left kick, blue's hands go down, and he shoots his feet back to get him out of the way. This puts him completely out of balance, so it doesn't take a lot of force to knock him right away. Okay, so they're good friends in the end. All right, to sum it up, blue brought a self-defense system into a sports venue, which was his first mistake, and he didn't adapt. Secondly, blue continued to use non-Wing Chun techniques to defend the same attack over and over again, and he didn't really use anything that he could have been taught in Wing Chun. So folks, let's not blame the art. Let's blame the training and the participant. Now, I would like to do more of these videos, and I'd also like your comments on what I've said, and if there's anything else that you saw on there that's not Wing Chun, be a little bit more detailed, go ahead, feel free to comment on it. Feel free to comment on what I said. Just remember to keep it clean so you don't get banned. Also, if you have any suggestions about other things that you'd like to see, go ahead and let me know. Thanks. Oh, and subscribe. Thanks very much.